Glentendo. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you definitely hate him. Versus Mateo.
He's been officially outed, and a couple more of the old guard. But as you were mentioning, like when you play characters, and you have to acknowledge where they're strong and when they're weak. And when you play matchups, you have to know where you want to be and where you don't. You never want to be above Palutena, and as Cloud, you never want to be off stage.
And this is going to be a really cool one to see. Mateo is low-key. He's one of the best Palutenas I've ever played. He's not always as active as he used to be. A former member of the New Jersey PR from pre-pandemic times, actually, way back in the day. Got ranked with this character, actually, with his Palutena. Definitely does a wonderful job at not just his punish game, but doing a really good job at keeping you out. Glentendo, though, I want to give this guy most improved. Like, at least in Jersey, for sure. He's definitely gone up quite a few levels, especially in this matchup, which I actually play with Glentendo quite a bit. So I'm anxious to see how he does against a Palutena who's definitely better than me.
So far, they're playing it pretty right, and gets that back air scoop from so far. And I love that angle from Mateo, showing a little bit of defense that has gone on with a couple of their aggressive moments, using the teleport very well to get back to stage, this warp being very well placed. Now we're getting a little brief moment of just wide, full stage neutral to cross in between back and forth. And you know Glenn is going to love those moments because that lets him set up with that massive disjoint compared to Mateo, who wants to, most of the time, to come in with these neutral airs.
That matchup will have that every now and again, where these two are going to be just really feeling each other out, like Palutena spamming the back air, Cloud hanging back, charging that limit, getting caught off stage right there with the explosive flame. It's one of those fundies matchups, as our good friend Glentendo would certainly say right here. As that back air is going to stuff out the neutral air on the way in. It's one of those things where, like, none of these characters have, like, such a level of jank against each other. More so just, like, you know, their bread and butter is just going against each other one little bit at a time. Palutena's got Cloud in the air right here, exactly where she wants. Neutrals reset again, waiting for the option off of the down throw since nothing is true at that percent after the nerfs. But Glenn going to narrowly sneak in that stock around 50% just as he's about to pop limit.
Shout out to the DI up, by the way, to avoid the tech chase on the platforms, but just manually jumping to them. That's nice. It's little things like that that let Palutena feel much less oppressive than she can be. And that just all comes from matchup experience.
Yeah, for sure. Palutena definitely... So there are a lot of people who think that Palutena wins this matchup or that it's even in not in Palutena's favor, but it's definitely not one of those things where Palutena can just like go in with her bread and butter with her game plan and not have to adapt accordingly. Cloud's up B out of shield is pretty amazing, as you all know. It's one of the best up Bs out of shields in this game, and Palutena gets a lot of her punish off of that neutral air for sure, so she's not even necessarily going to be able to cross Cloud up with that for free, so it's going to be more so on the particular Palutena to pick and choose her moments of when she wants to zone and when she wants to commit going in with that neutral air, because once she has that and she gets Cloud off stage, it can be easy pickings, or at the very least scary for the Cloud, I should say, but if not, the Palu might just have to work a little harder.
Both of these two are just playing such a slow, it's like a fast-paced mid-range neutral.
Yeah, I told you.
Where they both want to get to this specific spot, but then they wait for each other to blink while they're in that spot. It's a weirdo chicken game that both of them are playing in, and it's looking like Glenn twice over now has blinked first with some of these more lazier recoveries, but a great grab there will potentially set up a stock with one of these back airs. Now the warp gets him back to center stage first.
And you can see Mateo playing this matchup honestly pretty well. He's very disciplined on when he wants to commit in the neutral right there, and you see when he does. You see how far away he drifted with that neutral air when he realized he didn't get it. He was thinking ahead to make sure he didn't get punished. Got his punish game on par right here with the shield. Waits to see when he's going to use dash attack, but he knows as he dives off the top to the down air where Cloud is at his most vulnerable in this matchup, and that's off the level because Palutena's got two, technically three, pretty amazing projectiles off the level against this guy who has a questionably exploitable recovery.
Yeah, that's why you see Glenn holding on to limit here. Goes for the down air attempt and trying to cover himself with a cross slash. Nothing doing though, and now it'll be up to Glentendo to try and rebuild this limit. His jump called out from Mateo. Will they go for the down air? Will they go for the down tilt? There
so
it is.
Close. That was so scary. That's such a tight spot to be in as Cloud in this matchup, man. When you're at that tiny spot below the ledge in between getting down tilted and just getting back aired. Off the level right here, safest place to go. Trying to catch the neutral, get up with the back throw right there. Definitely would have done it. Glenn being able to get his shield. We are going down to the wire here on this game, but Glentendo limit is on deck. This will probably kill if he's able to get it by the ledge. but that back air is going to stuff it out instead. Invincible option. You can't parry that when you're in the air.
No, sir. It was really good on both of these players to acknowledge the pacing that they were playing at, but Mateo clicked to something first, where when Glenn had a limit, he wanted to hold on to limit. He wanted to use those 15 seconds before throwing it, unless it put off stage to get back to ledge. But Mateo realized that early and acknowledged the fact that Glenn knows that up B out of shield isn't entirely a get-out-of-jail-free card against safe aerials, so they're going to start jumping first.
Not to mention the fact that if you whiff one of those in this matchup, that's the green-haired goddess on screen, my dude.
Oh,
that's a meaty punish game. Palutena is the kind of character who not even has the amazing punish game that she does, but against the exploitable recovery of Cloud once you're off stage, which is where Cloud always is at the end of those combos, you might just die and be down an entire stock. This is what I'm talking about when I say this matchup is scary, but maybe not necessarily Palutena winning.
Yeah, I would definitely say this looks on paper like an even matchup, but we're seeing Mateo get so many little callouts that build up so quickly. Just little jump calls out of shield. That was a finishing touch. Little jump callouts, little spot dodge reads, stuff that is able to gradually build in his favor, while all supplying that same amount of pressure by doing almost nothing at all.
The thing is in this matchup is that I honestly feel like Palutena is better in it at exploit. Yeah, he's just feeling himself too much. I don't know. Like that's all I can say about that.
The win messed up the punish.
Maybe he's big brain. Oh god, and the up smash going to do it. This is what I'm saying. Palutena in this matchup, I feel like is low-key better at forcing her advantage than Cloud is. Say Cloud has limit on in deck, Palutena can start to run away a little bit. You pop out a couple little auto reticles, maybe a close-up explosive flame to try to keep him at bay. And once Cloud is in the air, Palutena has a pretty good job at keeping him there. Once Cloud is the one in the lead, though, he has to play so much harder and have such a more stern neutral to stop the Palutena from being able to get in. Constantly switching between avoiding these cross-up neutral airs, not whipping up B out of shield too easily, and avoiding the projectiles, and not wasting your limit too early. I feel like this matchup is even on paper, but I'm going to be honest. Don't get me wrong. I think it's hard for both of them. I think Cloud may have to work a little bit harder.
In
theory.
In theory, and in more of the usual situations. But when it comes to how Cloud can play, like, I'm a big Cloud believer, personally. I feel like Cloud, when on stage, more consistently outranges Palutena, can more consistently play a solid keep-away game, has almost better corner pressure. But the problem where for Cloud doesn't rely in burst range, because you have things like dash attack, things like down tilt to cover that. It's trying to condition Palutena out of shield.
Yeah. That's
really going to be the tick, and Glenn has not been going for enough grabs or enough of these landing, and Mateo's not been letting him land on his shield with these aerials that are so big and potentially plus to get him out of that cycle.
Yeah. It's definitely pretty rough, man. Like, if you can somehow, like, condition the Palutena to do what you want or catch on to her habits quickly, it'll spell curtains. But off of that down throw still has some pretty good mix-up setups, and that is Glentendo going downwards to the loser's bracket against Mateo, former New Jersey power rank player in and of himself, and still, in my personal opinion, one of the state's better Palutenas for sure, man. Like,
one of the state's better players.
Don't be too mad if you lose to this guy when you come here, all right? You're going to be like, oh, I don't know who Mateo is.
He's really nasty, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
he's really
That's
good.
what I'm saying. Like, Mateo's literally one of the best Palutenas I've ever played, and one of the only guys that I can feel like I actually raged against one time in bracket way down at, I think, a Tasties back when that was a thing, like an Ultimate One way back in the day, because it's just so fundamentally sound with that Palutena, my friend. I'm just saying.
Fundamentally sound, period. I've lost to his DK.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he was a DK main.
Yep.
I forgot about that. Oh, I completely forgot about that.
Mateo is not PR'd for his skill, but for his attendance.
We're in Jersey.
Yeah, I think he almost beat Jackal once with his DK at a fusion. It's like in the old VODs for sure. Yeah, he's good, man. He's good.
He doesn't enter as often as he used to, but I'm telling you, if you guys come through, if you're like a foreign player or whatever, and you come through to a fusion, you're like, I lost to this guy named Mateo. I don't think anybody's ever heard of it. Who is this? I don't get mad. Don't be mad.
He's a classic.
Just don't be mad.
He's a classic.
He's nasty. All right?
What do we got?
I don't know who we got. I don't know who we
Syrup
got.
and Core playing. I believe that's Syrup, of course, the runner-up of last week, as well as Jacko being here, the winner of last week. If you are attending Fusion on the regular, which you should, or watching Fusion on the regular, which you should be, because it is the hypest Monday local in the country. So,
yeah. And you're about to learn why.
And you're about to learn very much why. Because it's run by the same exact team that's running Collision 2022, happening so soon.
It is pretty soon,
in like
actually.
3 weeks. That's crazy. And you can still register right now at smash.gg/collision as it is over in the North Bergen, New Jersey venue. It's going to be insane. We've got badges set up. There's going to be vendors. There's going to be games. There's going to be a multitude of events.
There's going to
be a very great time.
The first major of the PGR season is what is also going to be.
That's very true.
So, yeah, if you want to get your points up for that good old global bracket, global ranking that we're going to have going back to us very soon, you're not going to want to miss this one, guys. Seriously, don't mess up. Check it out. Also, check out DNA every single Thursday. If it is still there every single Thursday, we are sort of getting back into the swing of things with locals. To be honest, I haven't heard the news, but if it's here, I'm going to assume that it's back every Thursday. Smash Brothers Ultimate, 7:30 p.m. at the lovely Helix Esports Center in North Bergen, New Jersey. Streamed by the wonderful folks over at Masterhand Gaming. Shoutouts to Chris Elodian. You can sign up for that at smash.gg/DNA.
Of course, there is the other side of the tri-state scene, the oft-mentioned no-pause tournaments, NP tournaments on Twitter, and no-pause tournaments everywhere else, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, etc. With premier events like Cross Up and Vacation, which is slowly upcoming to Vacation 100, which will be taking place on a Saturday like the original Vacation vibes. Not to mention also No Dice, formerly known as Solar Powered, which it happens on Tuesdays, as well as one more game, a Melee bi-weekly. They've got it all. They've got an incredible social media presence. They've got incredible merch if you've been watching what I've been wearing in this stream. And they've got a amazingly and almost chaotic brand that they're going with.
They do, don't they? Yeah. Well, we are going to take a very quick break for you guys right here. Don't touch your Fire Stick or your mouse or whatever it is that you're using to watch. We got plenty more Hot Smash action coming your way very shortly. We'll be right back. I'm going to take a...
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fusion.